Yo, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Corey Miller, representing Raw Hip Hop Headz. Today we got a special guest for you coming out of Lincoln, Nebraska. He goes by the name, your boy, KT. Hey, what's up, KT? How you doing today, man?
I'm pretty good, bro. How about you?
Man, I'm doing really good, bro. So let me ask you, first things first, how did you get your name, your boy, KT? Because I'm sure that, a lot of people want to know, like, your boy KT, that's pretty unique. Can you kind of explain that to the people?
Yeah, for sure. So, basically, KT, those are my initials. My full name is Kevin Truss. So, back when I was in high school, I did track and field, and my track coach came up to me one day, and he's like, yo, just wanted to say, good job, KT. You're doing great. Keep up the good work. And I was like, KT. That could stick, and then all of a sudden everybody in high school started calling me KT, and then I came up to Lincoln in college, and pretty much just continued on as KT. People were calling me KT. Then I was also a student announcer in high school, so I just added the your boy in front to make it a little more catchy, and then that's pretty much just how I got my name. So I just took that name and pretty much just translated it and put it as my rap name as well. So.
Okay, cool. That sounds cool. And that was pretty creative of you, too. Hey, so I wanted to ask you, if you can tell us a little bit about yourself, like what growing up was like for you as an artist and, like how you got into artistry and stuff like that. Like if you could explain more about yourself, I'm sure the people would love to hear it,
Yeah, for sure. When I was in middle school and high school, I listened to a lot of rap music, but I was never an artist until I came to college. So, back when I was growing up, I listened to, like Nelly, Murphy Lee, those guys, and just, I listened to Chingy back in the day, like Lil Wayne, Gucci Mane even, and then Webby, I'd listen to him. And then when I came up to Lincoln for college, then that's when my good friend Robert, he's an artist himself, and he wanted me to get into it as well. And he was like, dude, you gotta do this with me. And I'm like, are you sure? I guess, So I just sort of kind of went along with it just because he was doing it, just to support him. And he made me a few instrumentals. I rapped over him, and sooner or later I just became an artist. And he made a personal Facebook fan page for me and everything. And we're just recording my first song. I remember hearing my voice replay, and I was like, wow, this is great. I have to, continue doing this. It feels right, it feels really cool to do this. So I just kept on doing it, and eventually, that sort of kind of grew my passion, the more I did it, and it just wanted me to continue to pursue it. So that's pretty much where I'm at now, just continuing to do it, and, just getting shows booked along with that and doing music videos and just continuing to grow my brand as well as an artist. So. Okay,
cool. So I know you mentioned Lincoln, Nebraska, and so you said you're originally from Milwaukee, though, right?
Yep, born and raised in Milwaukee. That's where I went. That's where I, grew up, and then I just came to Lincoln solely for college. But then, this is where I became a hip hop artist. So that's where I'm staying currently. I like the city. Really nice people here in the Midwest. I mean, Milwaukee's in the Midwest too, but Lincoln's more of a smaller town, but it's still a city at the same time. So I like it here for the time being. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Now, how would you say that Lincoln, Nebraska, and Milwaukee, both of those cities have influenced you as an artist?
In different ways, definitely. 'Cause in Milwaukee, there's a music festival called Summerfest. It's technically known as the world's largest music festival because it's over an 11-day span. So every year since I don't know, maybe 2009 or so, I'd go there every single summer, and it's really nice because it's not that expensive. You just get to go to all the concerts for free with like a $15 admission ticket.
Wow.
Besides for the bigger ones, besides, you know, for the really big acts, you have to pay extra for those. But besides for that, you get into all the concerts for free, and it's a really cool atmosphere. Like it's downtown, and just like everybody's out partying, having fun, listening to live music of any genre, you know, not just hip hop. But that was always fun, so that definitely influenced me in Milwaukee. And just being around friends, you know, hip-hop was, you know, pretty popular in Milwaukee. So especially, you know, in my high school, there were a lot of rappers in my high school who I graduated with. And then, like, in Lincoln, it's surprisingly pretty popular out here, too. Like, I feel like the entrepreneurial spirit in Lincoln is very strong, and in Nebraska in general. So, like, there are a lot of people just trying to, you know, be their own boss and, you know, start their own business, and music is a big way to do that. So, like, a lot of people are getting into hip-hop here, just starting out, you know. But, you know, we're all in it together, I feel, you know. I mean, there's a lot of independence out here, and there's a lot of, you know, just doing things on your own. But at the same time, like, a lot of people are just, you know, we're in it together, whether, you know, people here realize it or not. So I think, you know, Lincoln's got a lot of things going for the local music scene too. So
Okay, cool. Now what would you say, you know, you're talking about different artists and everything being in the city, like what are some of the things you look for in an artist that you choose to work with?
I look for, because it depends what I need the artist for. So, like, I mean, depending on what track I'm working on, like, you know, I'll think of an artist like, oh, I could have a feature on this song. Who would I want to be on the song, you know? Like, I'll think of, you know, probably some of my closer friends first and foremost, you know, artists who, like, I work with really closely. And then, you know, depending on, like, what type of feature I was looking for, be like, oh, okay, I could have such so-and-so on this song and so-and-so on that song, you know, because, you know, this is sort of kind of their type of song, you know, they'd be a good fit as a feature on this song, you know. So just depending on what I'm looking for, really, and then just, like, you know, how well connected I am with them. Sometimes I'm willing to reach out to people I don't know, too. I'm not afraid to, you know, just, like, approach other artists who I don't know. I think that's cool. It's a good way to meet and network with other new artists, as long as they're willing to work, as long as they're, you know, just as long as they bring something to the table and they're not with, you know, they don't have that BS along with it, you know, then
Okay.
I'm open to working with them. So, yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, have you ever had I know you said, like, BS, have you ever had a bad experience working with any artists, or?
I mean, not to throw out any names, but, like, I haven't had the worst experience with this one guy, but, I mean, it could have been a little better. I think he could have put a little more effort into it. But at the same time, it still ended up being, you know, a pretty decent feature. So, you know, sometimes it just works like that. But, you know, you sort of kind of have to be picky about who you want on your song. So, you know, just because it's your song at the end of the day, so it's got your name on it. You want it to be, you know, the best quality song you can make. So you just sort of kind of have to be picky and just, you know, think it over before you reach out to certain people. But yeah,
makes sense. So basically, you're saying, like, so you're trying to work with an artist, and, like, you know, the artist kind of, like, half-assed his feature and really didn't do that good. Like, so, you know, you're kind of advising other artists that are out there, they need to choose, like, who they work with, because, you know, some people don't have, like, a good work ethic. Is that what I'm understanding?
Yeah, in my opinion, yeah. Like, back to what you were saying before, it's like, you know, he sort of kind of half-assed it. And, like, you know, I feel like with his talent, with his caliber, he could have probably done a little bit more, you know. But, like, he probably was just, you know, in it for the wrong reasons and, you know, didn't really put that much effort into it. So, yeah.
Makes sense. Okay. So let me ask you this, KT. How would you describe your style?
That's a good question. My style is pretty unique. I don't feel like there are a lot of artists out there like me, because I'm very lyrical, but at the same time I'm catchy too. You know, because a lot of lyrical artists like say like a Kendrick Lamar or like a A$AP Rocky, like they have lyrics for days and like they're very philosophical, but like, you know, their music like sometimes can be classified as boring, you know, like, and don't get me wrong, I love those artists to death. Like, those are some of my favorite artists who I look up to. But I'm just saying, me as an artist, like, I feel like I have, you know, more catchiness with my rhymes, and that's something that I bring to the table as far as my style goes. But at the same time, I have that lyricism, not just with like, and you know, people are like, what is lyricism? What's being a good lyricist? Like, I feel like, you know, I have really good bars, like, you know, I know how to put and formulate rhymes together pretty well as far as the rhyme scheme goes, while still having it make sense, you know, while still telling a story, while still, you know, portraying a message with it, you know. It's as far as like other artists, you know, like, it's a great song with a great beat and like, you know, good music, but it's not really a good message, you know, it's not really a message at all. So I feel like as far as my style, like I said, I'm a lyricist, and it's catchy at the same time. It's good music to listen to that you'll want to listen to again. So
Okay. Now, so you pretty much, you know, described my next question. I was going to ask you, new people who have never heard of you, like, why they should listen to you, but basically, so if I was to ask you why should people listen to you, like, you just say because, you know, you're very unique?
Yeah, I would definitely say that. I'm just, I have a certain aspect with my music I feel that other artists don't really have, and that it's just that, I mean, everything I say is true to who I am, you know? Like, other artists sometimes just rap about things that aren't really real. I'm definitely one of those real artists. You know, and like I said, my music is poppy, it's catchy, you can, you know, play it in the car, play it at a party, but at the same time it really makes sense. And it's not something that's like, what is he talking about? You know, it's like, no, like, it's relatable, I feel like, to most people. And it's, like I said, it really portrays a message while at the same time being like, wow, this song is so cool, you know, like, I love the beat, I love the music aspect of it, you know, but while at the same time it's portraying a message and it's, you know, spreading a positive movement. So
makes sense. Now let's go into your newest project, Opinionated. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, for sure. Opinionated, it's my sophomore mixtape. It's got 14 tracks on it, all original stuff. And like, I mean, I pride myself in Opinionated. Like, it's got a lot of variety to it. No one track is the same. Every single song is about, you know, like, it's all the same in that, you know, it's all opinionated and it's all, you know, me saying different things that I feel are true in my world, you know, not necessarily facts, but, you know, it's just things that I find to be true and I agree with, and I think that, you know, should be said, you know. So, I mean, like I said, it's very opinionated mixtape. But like I said, every song has variety to it. Like, no two tracks are alike, and that's what I think makes it so good. So.
Okay, cool. Now, as far as your favorite project, I mean, as far as your favorite track on the project, what would you say your personal favorite song is on there?
It's hard to decide. I really like Mastermind in the Making. I feel like it describes me. I should say Mastermind in the Making 2, because I made a first one on my debut mixtape. But yeah, I have to go with that one just because it's so lyrical and the beat is really, really hard. Like I mean, it's powerful, and it hits you hard, and I have a really good confidence level on that song, and I feel like that really makes it stand out. So that way, it's like people listen to it, and just their reaction is like, wow, this is instantly, grabbing my attention, So, while at the same time, I'm rapping about true stories that really happened in my life, and then like, true visions and true ambitions that I have throughout my music. So, I think that that's a great double whammy there. So, and I mean, it's just like my whole mastermind and making concept, I feel like it's just great, and I'm probably going to make a third one too. So fans could definitely look out for that.
Okay, cool. Now I heard that you have a song on the project called Shots. I heard it's pretty popular. What can you describe to us what that song is about?
Yeah, for sure. My song Shots, it's one of the party tracks on my mixtape. But at the same time, it's like I keep on saying, it has a message to it. It's not just about drinking, like a lot of people might assume. It's about gun violence, because there's been a crap ton of it, not just in Lincoln, not just in Milwaukee, but throughout our nation. So I mean, I feel like that needs to be said, and just my opinions on it, and police brutality and everything like that. So I touch on that, and then just basketball in general. I've always been a fan of basketball. It's my favorite sport. So I correlated that into the hook to make it more catchy. And then just like shots as in like opportunities too. So like it's not just drinking, it's shots as in, gun violence, drinking, basketball, and like opportunities in life. So just correlating everything that you can associate with the shot pretty much is in that song.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool. I mean, that's pretty creative that you tied everything all together in that song Shots. Gun violence, drinking, basketball. Like, man, like how did you? What even influenced you to write that song? Like, how did you even get inspired?
That's a good question. When I formulate songs, when I start writing, it's really like I usually don't have a set topic that I want to write about. Usually I just listen to the beat and just start writing. Whatever comes out, whatever I write down, I usually go with. And then like I'll have like a bar or two written, and then I'll be like, oh, okay, well that's a creative idea. So I'll just sort of kind of branch off that and make a verse out of it or make a hook out of it, And then once I get that, and then I'll just, continue to go along with that topic, and then, make a song out of it. So, yeah, this song, I just happen to have the idea of shots in mind. That's also how I got my idea of the mixtape title too, because like I just sent a verse to one of my friends, and she's like, "Wow, that's very brave of you to say it. It's quite opinionated." And I was like, opinionated, that's a pretty cool word, So that's actually how I got the title of my mixtape too. So yeah, it's just sort of kind of one thing just leads to another with me in my writing process, and that's sort of kind of just how I come up with my ideas. So
okay, makes sense. That makes a lot of sense actually. So when it comes to beats, I know you were talking about your beats. What kind of beats do you usually try to choose? Like producers that are listening to this and they're like, man, I want to send this guy KT some beats. Like, what kind of beats do you choose to use, and like, what do you like?
That's a good question as well. I really don't have this. This is gonna sound weird. I really don't have a go-to instrumental. Like, it could be anything. I really pride myself as an artist that I can pretty much rap over any type of beat, I feel. I don't like beats that are too trappy, like a Waka Flocka beat, maybe not. I'm not that type, or maybe not like a, as much as I love Young Chop, like you know, because he has some killer beats. Like, I wouldn't want all my songs on my mixtape to be, you know, produced by Young Chop, because, like, I just want to have some variety, you know, like, maybe one or two, you know, but, like, not, like, the whole thing, like, just trapaholic shit, you know. I like beats that people can party to. Because, you know, that people love to party, I love to party. That's in my personality. So that's sort of kind of what I like to go to. I also like to have chill beats, you know, like you know, sort of kind of slow, smooth beats to rap to, you know, not necessarily your stereotypical hip-hop beats, but just like beats that you can rap to at the same time. I also, you know, I am a singer too, so I like to experiment with beats that you can sing to that have a rhythm, you know, that you can sing along with. So anything like that. But I mean, I'm pretty experimental when it comes to messing around with instrumentals, so it sort of kind of just depends on what I'm feeling.
Okay, and I know you know you're saying a lot about your personality. How would you describe yourself as an artist, like personality wise?
Personality wise, I'm pretty energetic. Personality wise, I'm also very straightforward. That's just me as a person. I'm business minded, but at the same time, I like to have fun. You know, so basically, like, as a person, like, I like to be taken seriously, but once people take me seriously, then I like to, you know, just, you know, have fun and just do whatever, you know. So, like, okay. Yeah, that's sort of kind of me as a person. And, like, I like to switch things up too. Like, you know, I like flavor, I like variety, you know. So I just basically, you know, I'll switch it up every once in a while. You know, whether that be switching up the flow in a song, or switching up the beat, or switching up the topic that I'm talking about, you know. So yeah.
Okay. So when people hear your music, it's not just like you said, it's not trapaholics, it's not gang bang, shoot 'em up, west side, east side, like it's none of that. It actually has a real message behind it, huh?
Yeah, I would say so. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, I like to have those songs that sometimes, you know, just for fun, I like to have those songs that, you know, are just about, you know, random shit, you know, just like random things that happen in everyday life, like a Lil Wayne song like I'm Millie or 6 Foot, 7 Foot, you know, songs that really don't have a particular subject area, but are just like sort of kind of funny punchlines, you know. Like sometimes I like coming out with songs like that, but for the most part, you know, I like to just stick with like what I'm going through in life and like, you know, what is actually, what, you know, just topic areas that are happening right now, or just visions that I have for what I want to do in the future. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you what has been your biggest accomplishment so far? Like what would you say your biggest accomplishment is?
I mean, I haven't had, in my opinion, I really haven't had one big accomplishment that stood out from all the rest. But I'd say if I had to name a couple of them, one of them would definitely be having my first song on the radio. That, to me, that's a pretty big accomplishment. It was Hold You Down. That was my radio single from Opinionated. And then if I had to pick a couple more, just being able to headline shows in Lincoln. Like I had one headliner at the Bourbon Theater, and I had my name on the marquee. That was pretty special to me. And just being able to, like as far as big accomplishments, just I'd say selling merchandise too. I've had a pretty good amount of luck with that too. So just those three things in general, I'd say, are probably my biggest accomplishments so far.
Well, cool. I mean, congratulations, man. Those are actually pretty big accomplishments. You know, a lot of artists don't even make it that far, so that's good. It's good.
That's true.
let me ask you this. So I read in your profile, in your bio, you used to sing in the church. Do you feel like that kind of influenced you as an artist, or like, you know, helped you with hip hop, just being overall, you know, music oriented type of guy? Do you feel like that really has helped you as an artist?
Yeah, that's a good point that you bring up. Like, you know, back when I was a kid, a preteen, you know, like I used to sing solos in church, and back when I was like in middle school and high school, I was in band, and so I learned how to read notes, and I learned how to keep a rhythm, keep a beat, because I was a percussionist, you know. Like, okay. So I've been involved with music pretty much my entire life from that aspect. So I do feel like that really helped a lot, actually. As far as putting my songs together and structuring them, you know, like knowing when a hook comes in, knowing how long a verse is, knowing what melody I could put to a hook if I want to sing it, that really helped out as far as, like, you know, being in the choir, you know, and just like being in band and learning how to read notes, like, definitely helped out as far as like my hip hop career. So
okay, that makes a lot of sense. And I figured that it would, you know, because I mean, if you're around all this music and melodies and stuff like that, that probably even helps with picking beats, or like you said, like how to sing certain courses, or like how to, you know, even how to write, how the structure of music should be. So I mean, that's cool, man. I mean, it's cool that you've been a part of music so long, even if it wasn't hip hop. It sounds like, you know, your past even helped you as a hip hop artist. So that's really cool.
Definitely. Yep.
Yeah. Now I wanted to ask you too. I read in your profile that you enrolled in Intro to Poetry in college. What made you want to do that?
That's yeah, like that was back in the day in 2011. I took that class because I needed to take an elective of some sort. Yeah, I don't think it was an elective, actually. I think it was like just a gen ed class that I had to take, so I took that. And I mean, back in the day, like in middle school and high school, like we barely touched on poetry, but like whenever we did, I was really interested in it, and like I really liked it. So I figured, hey, why not take you know, an intro class and, you know, do more poetry. So I took that, and it was a lot of work, and it was a pretty hard class, but I actually really liked it. So we had to analyze a lot of poetry, so that took a while, you know, to get down and just to figure out what the actual author was trying to convey in his poetry. Sometimes that was pretty tricky. And then, you know, just obviously the other part of it was just writing poetry of our own and creating a portfolio at the end of the semester. So that was pretty fun, just, you know, figuring out different types of poetry, you know, because, like, you know, no two poems are like, you know, there are a lot of different styles that you could do, you know, so a lot of different rhyming schemes. So, like, all that really helped with, you know, the writing as a hip-hop artist, too, because the two almost go hand in hand. Like, writing poetry and writing lyrics to songs are very similar. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
It was pretty, so, like, yeah, that class, it was pretty challenging, but it was also pretty fun at the same time.
Do you feel that gives you an advantage over the competition? Because, like, a lot of artists never took that. And, you know, with you taking that and actually going to school on that, do you feel like that gives you kind of like an edge over the competition?
Yeah, I mean, I think it does, because, I mean, you look at MCs like an Eminem or a J. Cole or a Nas or a Jay-Z, you could just tell that they're, like, really poetic with their rhyming, you know, and, like, those are some of the greats, to be honest with you. So it's like, I feel that, you know, because their music is very different in the way they rhyme, and not everybody can have the talent or the skill to do that. So, you know, that's when, you know, learning how to make those different rhyme schemes can really come in handy. So
makes a lot of sense. So okay, see, I know that you have a pretty big single on your hands. I'd probably call it like a local hit, or like even like it's buzzing and becoming a hit called See Me Now. Can you tell us about your hit record that you have currently, See Me Now? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I definitely can. A lot of people seem to like that one. I came out with a music video for it too a little while ago. It features my friend Fippa. He's a great friend of mine. He's actually from Harlem, but just like me, he went to UNL, which is the University of Nebraska Lincoln, out of state for college. So we both attended the University of Nebraska together out of state, and we were both on the track team. So that's how we met each other. And I found out that he did hip hop too, and I started it eventually too. So that's sort of kind of just how we were like, oh, hey, let's do a song together, So we did a song together, and then I did this track, See Me Now, and he's a real See Me Now, the beat, it has sirens in it. It's really loud. It gets you going, and he's a high energy type guy too. So I was like, hey, I might as well have him on this track too. So, and he has a thing where he all his music is clean because he doesn't like to leave anybody out of his audience, So I knew that having him on this track, he'd keep it clean. And, I feel like sometimes it's good to have clean songs like that, especially if you want to be on the radio. So in this case, he was a good look, so I had him feature on the song, and it turned out to be really good. He brought a lot to the feature, and he made it into an even better song than it was already. So that really helped out a lot, and I feel like me singing on the hook and just having a really catchy verse and having him bring all that energy and just he's a pretty charismatic guy too, and having his charisma on the track just really made it that much better. So,
wow, that's cool, man. I mean, that's really good. And like you said, I mean, a lot of times people want to curse to give it that extra edge, but sometimes what gives it that actual better edge or that edge to it is not cursing at all, because like you said, it can transition into radio. So I think that was a really smart move on you, man. That's cool. Let me see now. Okay, so this is probably one of my last questions, or second to the last question. I wanted to ask you about the Hot Husker Hooligans. What is that?
The Hot Husker Hooligans is the music group that me and my friends created, or launched, you could say. Back when we first started making music in 2011, we came up with the name, the Hot Husker Hooligans. It was sort of kind of just, nothing official to begin with, I mean, it still technically isn't super duper official, but it's the name that we go by, and for right now it's a music group, but we're trying to potentially turn it into just the name of our fan base, the Hot Husker Hooligans, and potentially even turn it into a record label if it goes that far. So, I mean, that's just sort of kind of our name at this point, our group name. So, I mean, the way we got it is I sort of I was at work one day and we were just generating names, and so I came up with a list of names, just threw it in this Facebook group that we had, and that's the one that they chose. So that's the name that we went with. So, and then like I said, just one thing led to another, and it just stuck over a period of time. And now we turned it into our music group, and who knows where it'll go from now. So.
Okay, cool. Now, a lot of artists, like you were saying in the beginning of the interview, a lot of artists, they do a lot of shows, and you said that you're doing a lot of shows, which is good. But do you plan on going tour? Do you plan on touring and going national, or do you have anything like that going on, or what's up with that?
Could you repeat that one more time?
Oh no, I was just saying, a lot of artists, like you were saying, you do a lot of shows and everything. But do you have any shows coming up out of Nebraska? Are you planning on going on tour or doing anything out of Nebraska, or?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. That's probably the next step. So yeah, I just had a show recently in Omaha. So that was my first show that was like out of the city of Lincoln. But now, like, I'm just trying to spread, you know, shows regionally and maybe even nationally. So just, you know, potentially just trying to go on tour, seeing, you know, what windows open up and everything. Because, I mean, I sort of kind of have to be careful with that because it's like, you know, I don't want to get anything that's too risky and too financially overbearing, you know, because, like, a lot of people will be like, yeah, you can go on tour with me, but you have to have, you know, a certain amount of money. So, you know, I can't really do that because I don't have that much money to invest right now. So I have to be careful of that. But, I mean, like, yeah, I definitely foresee myself, like, you know, doing shows in different cities and states outside of Nebraska. So that's definitely the next step. I mean, like, even the show that you had in mind, you know, in North Dakota, and just maybe, like, maybe doing shows in Cali where you're from, or just, like, you know, other outlets too. Like, I mean, in neighboring states like Kansas, or, you know, Iowa, like Des Moines, you know. So that's probably just, you know, the easiest way for right now. So
that's cool. That's cool, and that's a good look. So all the listeners, you know, I mean, keep on supporting KT. Keep on, you know, investing into him. If he decides to put this on YouTube, if you're hearing this on YouTube, you know, download the music, go to the shows, really support KT, because, I mean, who knows? He could definitely blow up, and he could be in a city near you at any given time if you guys really get behind him and show him that support. And my last question, KT, is I wanted to ask you is, you know, is there anything else that you want to tell the people, tell the fans, maybe new listeners who are listening to this on YouTube, or is there anything you want to tell the people?
I mean, you could just tell them that I'm going to continue to come out with new music, and that they have a lot to look forward to in the future, not only with me, but, like, just with the whole Hot Husker Hooligans music group, like I'm saying. Okay. And then just to, you know, keep their you know, their hopes up, because, I mean, not super high, but, I mean, you know, they can expect that something will come, you know. So, okay. I mean, I can't really say specifically what and when, but, I mean, they can definitely expect more out of me. So that's for sure. Okay, cool. And where can they find you at? Like, where can they follow you at? Did you want to shout out any social media? Yeah, for sure. I'm on Facebook. That's probably my main source right now. It's just your boy KT if you want to search that. YABOIKT. It's 3 separate words, and then on Twitter, it's just one full word, just at your boy KT. Instagram is at official your boy KT, and it's spelled the same way, YABOIKT. I'm on SoundCloud, soundcloud.com/yourboykt, and all that. So, but yeah, like, I mean, a big part of it is the visuals too. So, like, make sure to subscribe on YouTube if you can, if you're out here listening to this. So, it's just your boy KT. So, okay, yeah. Cool. All right, cool. Well, everybody support KT. I guess from what he's saying, he's going to put this on YouTube. So, you know, if you're listening to this, support, go to his social medias, follow him, hit him up on Facebook, go to SoundCloud, go to Instagram, just all around show him support. That's pretty much concludes the interview. That's really all I have right now, but you can expect more things out of KT in the future. Raw Hip Hop Headz, we're going to be dropping more exclusives, music, mixtapes, interviews, everything. So definitely look forward to the movement, look forward to KT's movement, and we're out here, man. That concludes the interview. Raw Hip Hop Headz. Peace.